Shake Table Lab by Charlie Huang and Michael Martinez. Michael and Charlie designed this to help them create their building. Later, they did modify it just so they could add a roof. Their tower was 36 centimeters high and 18 centimeters wide. Also on the paper is a design for their roof that Charlie thought would be cool. They didn't use the design, but they thought that it was still fun to create it. Michael is shown here taping 2 straws together at the top of their roof. Michael and Charlie had already finished their bottom square and they were working up. Again, Michael is shown here adding the cross pieces to their tower. Michael and Charlie thought of using the X since they learned that the X is the strongest way of supporting a building. Also, Michael is adding straws from the bottom cardboard to the top, which would make the top floor more stable and strong. Michael here is attaching a flag to the roof of their tower. Michael and Charlie only added these flags so the roof would be different from other roofs, since the actual roof was a design most people would use. Here, Charlie is adjusting the paper at the top of Michael and Charlie's roof. They only added the paper to make the tower look nicer, since their original tower just had a gaping hole. Michael and Charlie created this on Sketch, and on it are the measurements for their tower. As you can see, this is their tower fully finished. Their finished tower is much more different, being 66.04 centimeters high instead of 36 centimeters. This is because Michael and Charlie received new building codes, which forced them to modify their tower. Next is Michael and Charlie's tower with 4 sandbags on it. As you can see, it doesn't take much strain. It is like this because of the way Michael and Charlie built their tower, choosing to use a hexagon shape to support their tower. The way Michael and Charlie strengthened their tower was by adding in straw through the X, so the bottom straw on the first floor and the bottom straw on the second floor would be sturdy. They also put 3 straws on the corners of their tower. 2 were straws going up, and 1 was a foundation bolt that bolted their tower onto the cardboard. One of the strongest parts on Michael and Charlie's tower would be the middle straw through the X, and they added those because the bottom straw on the second floor and the bottom straw on the third floor needed more support. They also doubled the straws at the corners so the building would hold straight. One of the reasons that Michael and Charlie's tower collapsed was because they did not add enough tape on their side columns. If they had just added more tape everywhere on their tower would have been a lot sturdier, and therefore holding more bags, of course. Another reason is that the middle columns that Michael and Charlie used to support the second and third floor were completely useless. Their tower did not collapse inward, it actually collapsed sideways, and that means that Michael and Charlie needed more triangles to help resist side-to-side motion. If Michael and Charlie had just removed those straws and maybe added them to make 2 more triangles on the sides, their tower could have held much more. As you can see, here's Michael taping their building. They added tape everywhere to make their building sturdier, and also on the straws so they would not fall apart while they were building. Michael and Charlie's extra supplies were paper, and they used that as a floor on their tower. They also used a little bit on the roof as flags and to cover up the pyramid. Here is Michael and Charlie's building with 10 sandbags on it. It didn't shake much, but it did have a lot of strain on it.
Nothing's wrong with it. Slow-mo.
I'm not okay.
Wait, why are you taking the slow-mo?
It's shaking so much. Oh.
Morty, you gotta do Alright.
Shaking.
Okay, start taking
Here's a slow-mo of Michael and Charlie's tower collapsing. Their tower collapsed on 18 sandbags, which was actually a very good score.
Bye, Kanye!
Here is Michael and Charlie's XYZ chart. The XYZ chart was taken when their tower was holding 18 sandbags. The X is side-to-side motion, the Y is forward and back motion, and the Z is how much their tower bounced. Here is an interview with Charlie Huang. Charlie explains why he thinks their tower collapsed and what they could have done to make it stronger.
So this is our building. We call it the Trump Tower, and it held 16 sandbags. But I'm sure it could have held much more. I think that the way we messed up and the way our tower actually fell, well, it fell sideways, of course, is because these cross pieces right here, we didn't tape them enough, hence leading to the tower falling sideways. And these straws, they also kind of ripped apart because we didn't add enough tape there. And I think that is one of the major reasons why it fell sideways. I also think that these middle column straws did not help at all since our tower collapsed sideways, not inwards. So I think that if we just left one there, just for good measure, and then took in all these and put them like right here, it would have made 2 more triangles, which would have made our tower much more stronger. I think that's the major thing where we failed. I am very grateful to Mr. Closet for telling us to put 3 straws on the side columns, since that helped a lot. And I think that one of the major essentials for building an earthquake-proof building is the side columns, and I think that you need extra support on those. I think it was really fun doing this, and I really enjoyed the challenge. And of course, I couldn't have done this without my partner and friend, Michael Martinez. Thank you.
Again, this is an interview with Michael Martinez. He explains the same thing as Charlie. He explains why he thinks their tower collapsed and what they could have done to make it stronger.
So this is our tower. We call it the Trump Tower. And it held 16 sandbags. But I believe it could have held around 20 to 22 if we would have done one thing. Added more tape to the cross pieces. I know it sounds simple, but our whole building collapsed because of this one cross piece and the rest. It detached because we did not add enough tape. And if we would have added enough tape, it could have held so much more. Also, I believe that these middle straws were completely unnecessary. They did almost nothing. So we would keep only one and attach the others to make another cross piece, therefore preventing the building from collapsing sideways, and we could have held even more. I also think that probably the strongest part of our building was the sides and the edges. I would love to thank Mr. C for telling us to do 3 straws there, because if we didn't, it would have collapsed so much sooner. And I would also love to thank my partner, Charlie. I could not have done this without him. Thank you.